Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome back to day 3. Good to see you guys here. How you guys feeling? How great was yesterday? Did you all go home and play with some of the breast support tools that we were working on yesterday? I hope so. Who got some good reps with their hisses and their lip trills? Tell me in the chat. Say me if you practice the exercises with the lips and the lip trills and the hissing. Billy did it, Alexandra did it, Alexa, Angela. Celebrating you guys for your accountability. Anna, Laura, Ginger, yes. Johnny, Margaret, yes, you guys, good. Because, don't leave it in the room, right? Don't get all this good information and then not go practice it. Don't leave it in the room. So celebrating all you guys who right away went into the practice. Good. If you have questions about it, if you were practicing and you're like, I'm not sure exactly about certain aspects of this, bring it to the coaching Q&A on Sunday. We have a whole day Q&A on Sunday. Who did their meditation for today? Put meditation in the chat if you did it. Who did your meditation? Celebrating you guys. If you're doing it daily, yes, Billy did it. Dolores did it. Alexa, yes. Cora, of course Cora's doing it. You guys are going to meet Cora later. Laura, Anna, nice. Pamela, Ginger, Cherie, after class, good. Of course Annie does it. You're going to meet Annie today too. Margaret, Jessica, of course Jessica did it. You guys, this is something I do not want you to forget to do daily, okay? Daily conditioning of the mindset and present moment awareness is super important, okay? Keep doing it each day this week, all right? So we got a lot to get to today. So a reminder of our housekeeping: save your questions, train first, then if we have time, I will answer questions. Also, like I said, jot them down. If we don't get to them, that's what Sunday is for. Whole Q&A day on Sunday, okay? A reminder that this is the safe space. Those who share, those who sing, I encourage vulnerability, bravery, and have a zero tolerance policy for any criticism, judgment, meanness in the chat. So please do your best to uphold that value for this tribe, okay? If you want to be a volunteer to coach today, make sure that your original sound is switched to on, and you can do so by using the raise hand function, which is in the little heart reactions at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Just click it and you'll see raise hand. Okay. And you guys said I mentioned Annie. We have Coach Annie in the house today. She is one of the expert technique coaches who works alongside me with our singers in the program. Hey, Annie, good to see you.
Hey, Arden. Thanks for inviting me to come in today.
Absolutely. Some of you may know Annie, some of you may not. So Annie is an incredible singer, an incredible coach, and she works with singers alongside me in our program. And so she's also going to be giving you some of her mojo here today too, not just me. So you're getting 2 for 1 today. Thanks, Annie. We'll get you back
Yeah,
on later.
sounds good.
All right, guys, let's get to work. So I have noticed something over many, many years of coaching and being a professional singer myself and saving voices and helping singers succeed. And it's this, that most of you, so many of you, are putting yourselves out there for auditions, performances, recordings, and you're making an innocent mistake. You don't realize that what you lack is the rocket fuel to actually stand out from the competition at the level that you need to consistently deliver when it counts, and do that no matter what, so that your confidence is not affected. And not having this rocket fuel, this is why you're not breaking through yet, okay? And that rocket fuel, that ammunition, it begins and ends with one idea, and it is this: energetic sound direction. Energetic sound direction. This is the way that we direct our energy to get the maximum power and efficiency and impact out of our instrument. And how we do this is by using opposition. Opposition, okay? So yesterday you learned about your anchor. You got your anchor, and that is the breath support that anchors the sound in the lower part of your body. So today, I'm going to give you what I call your sail, because you need both. And once you have that, your anchor and your sail, you're going to be able to use energetic sound direction in the form of opposition. So I want you guys to think of a boat, okay? And you've got your anchor rooting down into the sand, and you've got your sail facing up into the wind. And when those things are happening at the same time and opposing each other, whew, that boat is not going to go anywhere. It is super stable, okay? And it is the same in your body. So the energy of your support and the shape and space of your resonance, they need to oppose each other energetically in the very same way that an anchor and a sail on a boat oppose each other to create absolute stability, okay? And it is that stability that allows you to consistently tap into the maximum potential of your instrument and bring your best sound every time. So that is concept number 1 for today, which is that opposition is what creates absolute stability, consistency, and power for your biggest impact. So if you're following along in your Masterclass workbook, that's concept number 1 for today. Opposition, okay? You need your anchor and your sail. But right now, you only have your anchor. That's the support. That's what we talked about yesterday. That flexing down and through, okay? Today, we're going to talk about the sail. So let's get into it. And by the way, for those of you who want stronger high notes, who want help mixing with high belt, also this is absolutely essential. So the sail refers to the shape and the space of your resonance. Okay, so sound resonates in your body in 3 places. Resonates in your head, so behind your sinuses and between your skull and your brain, okay? It resonates in your chest cavity, and it also resonates in your buccal cavity, otherwise known as the inside of your mouth, okay? And the shape of a space, it determines the resonance. And so you can't change the shape of your head, you can't change the shape of your chest, but you can affect the shape of your buccal cavity, of the inside space in your mouth, with what you do with your soft palate, what happens with your jaw and your tongue. And like I was saying, this is really, really important because the shape of the space determines its resonance. So if you think about a super squat room, it's usually pretty dead. It's pretty dead sound. Versus if you think of a tunnel, which is a big round domey space, there's a lot of echo. So that shape of those rooms is determining the resonance of the sound inside it. And the major thing that affects the shape and the space of our resonance is our soft palate, okay? And that is your sail, right? So you guys know where your soft palate is. You probably do, but just in case. So hard palate is the hard ha ha ha. If you put in a retainer or dentures, it's sits on your hard palate. Your soft palate is behind the hard palate, and if you can run the back of your tongue, that's the soft part of your soft palate back there, okay? It's what happens when you get allergies and you're itchy in your throat, it's your soft palate, okay? So understanding where the soft palate is, okay, we want a big old soft palate. That's your sail, okay? So we want a really big sail providing loads of space for that sound to bounce around and resonate in. But it's not just any space. The shape of the space matters as well, as we said. So here's how you can find the most optimum shape and space of resonance in your soft palate. So imagining that I just took a tray, gooey, yummy, chocolatey, fudgy brownies out of the oven, and I hold them right under your nose, and you're gonna smell these brownies, and they smell really good, and so you breathe into a smile with your nose, and you're like, try it. Breathe in, smell the brownies, breathe it in. Do you feel the stretch in your soft palate as you smell the brownies? Okay, so that's one way of feeling that big domey shape, right? Like we want like that big stretch, like the Hollywood Bowl back there, okay? So smell the brownies. That's one way of feeling this diagonal stretch and expansion of the soft palate. Another way is to feel your ears widening away from each other. So like I feel my soft palate kind of lift and stretch a little bit when I feel my ears widening. So that's another way to think about it. You can also feel it like the top part of a yawn. So when we yawn, we do two things. So can you make yourself yawn? Oh, shouldn't be too hard. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Make yourself yawn. So you feel that massive stretch in the soft palate when you yawn. But what we also do when we yawn is we depress the larynx. It's that feeling, okay? When we sing, we do not want to depress the larynx. We don't want the bottom part. But we do, when we sing, want that top part of a yawn, that top soft palate stretch of a yawn. So it's another way to feel it. Another way to feel it, and by the way, you guys, I'm just giving you like lots of different ways to get to Rome here because one of them will resonate with you and you'll feel it, okay? So just as I'm giving you these, just pick the one that you're like, oh yeah, I really feel it, and that's the one I want you to latch onto, okay? Another one is feeling your molars riding up into your brain. Like your back top molars riding up into your brain, okay? So all of these ways of finding soft palate stretch are also helping you to not just find the bigger space, but also put the space in the right place. And in that sense, it's a tilt, okay? So the sail and the soft palate is expanding up on a diagonal, okay? So it's like tilting up this way. It has to be on a diagonal, not down into your throat, because a lot of people kind of feel like they have inside space, but what they're really doing is they're leaving their soft palate where it is, and they're pushing their tongue down, and so they feel like they have a lot of space, but it's in the wrong place. So leave your tongue alone, leave your throat alone, and just feel your ears widening, smell the brownies, and feel the space going this way instead of this way, okay? So if you were to take a picture, like a still picture, of any singer who really knows what they're doing, mid-sing, okay, they're all gonna look like this. Like if I'm singing a big note, right? Or it doesn't matter even if I'm in chest wise, you see what I look like? Okay, if you take a picture of like any singer who knows what they're doing mid big sing, you will see this, like they all look the same. And you think I'm kidding? I'm gonna share my screen. This is like my favorite thing to do. I do this like all the time. I'm gonna share my screen. Check this out. You guys see these guys? Doesn't matter what genre, doesn't matter male or female, Beyonce, pop singer, Pavarotti, opera singer, Bruno Mars, pop singer, Sutton Foster, Broadway singer, Leslie Odom Jr., Broadway singer, Anna Netrebko, opera singer. Look, do you guys see? It's like they're high in their cheeks. It's like they got their ears wide and it looks like a beautiful big smile, okay? So the reason I'm showing you this is because like that is what the external physiology looks like when the internal physiology of your soft palate is nice and high and tilted and expanded, all right? So right now, the easiest way to feel that stretch and that tilt in the soft palate is to breathe into a smile, to use that smell the brownies, ears widening, nose breath into a smile. Okay, but then you have to keep that stretch over the duration of a phrase while you're singing it and not let it fall down. So it's almost like, you breathe into the space between your ears, you smell the brownies, you feel that stretch, and then as you go to sing, it's like I want you to imagine you have like fish hooks in your soft palate that continue to pull it up, so it doesn't fall over the course of the phrase, okay? Because again, that's your sail. And it is always up when you sing. Always. I don't care if you're at the lowest part of your register, the highest part. I don't care if you are, singing head voice or chest voice. Doesn't matter. Always sail is up and expanding and tilting. Okay. So that's your sail. And that now brings me to the next concept for today, which is concept number 2, which is you are always moving your anchor and your sail away from each other over the course of the phrase. I will say it again. You are always moving your support and your soft palate resonance space away from each other over the course of the phrase. As we just learned, soft palate is always moving, tilting up and expanding up and away. And as you learned yesterday, the flex of your support, of all of the muscles of lower support, is flexing like down and out, okay? So this is the first way that you are going to employ opposition, which is what I was talking about before, energetic sound direction, okay? And here's why this matters. Because if your anchor and your sail are moving towards each other, then here's what happens. You've got, remember we talked about the muscles of support. If your support is pushing in or your ribs are collapsing, if all of this container of support is not going this way, but instead going this way, it pushes the diaphragm up, it pushes energy and tension up, and now you've got tension and flooding and contraction pushing up and encumbering your larynx from below. And if your soft palate is falling, now you've got the larynx being encumbered from above, and now this thing is not free to vibrate as efficiently as it otherwise would because it's being encumbered from both directions, okay? So you've got to think about your, like, from, here to, from like top, like above heart space to like above larynx. This is what we're going to refer to kind of like as the midline, okay? And we want to be moving everything away from the midline so that your larynx is absolutely free to oscillate. The vocal folds are free to oscillate with the most efficiency as possible, okay? Otherwise, like I said, you just end up crunching down in your larynx, creating too much tension, and now you've got tension and you're dead in the water for all the reasons you understand, okay? So we always want to be moving everything away from the midline, and it is that opposition that creates the ultimate stability so that your larynx can vibrate optimally and freely for the biggest impact. So if you have problems with reliability, consistency, confidence, if you have problems accessing high notes, if you have intonation, pitchiness, pitch issues, if you have problems changing registers, if it's really hard for you to move through your passaggio and go from head to chest or back, if you have problems mixing, if that's tricky for you, guys, it's all because you are not opposing. Your anchor and your sail are moving towards each other, putting pressure on your larynx instead of opposing each other, moving away from each other, allowing your larynx to, like we said, vibrate freely and efficiently up and down your range through all of your registers. So one of the best ways to learn and practice opposition is what I call sirening. So a siren is literally like what it sounds like. Woo! Or yeah! Or ah! You guys see my face, by the way? I'm doing the thing because my sail is up, right? So a siren is just phonating around in your range. Woo! Yeah! Whatever, okay? The reason that I love sirening is it's a great way to practice opposing your anchor and your sail and setting the energetic direction for your sound in a way that is like super not connected to singing at all, right? Because the minute you think sing, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go right back to your habit and you're gonna go right back to contracting anchor and sail, okay? So we're gonna take this out of the mindset of sing, okay? And we're just gonna siren. So I want you guys to connect to your anchor. I want you to put your hands right here on your obliques like we were doing yesterday. And if you were somebody who was having trouble keeping your ribs nice and buoyant, then you can also wrap around too, okay? But I really want you to have this connection in your mind body of hands on the anchor and the lower support, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna connect these two sensations. You're gonna breathe into the smell of the brownies. You're gonna feel that soft palate stretch as you breathe in. Then you're gonna engage your support. And as you siren, you're gonna be increasing that sensation of flowing through the support over the course of the phrase, like we talked about yesterday, and pulling up on that tilt of your soft palate stretch over the course of the phrase. So anchor and sail are continuing to oppose each other, and you don't stop that until you're done with the siren. Yeah! Now, if this is happening, yeah! You lost your anchor. Your anchor came up in the direction of your sail. Or, if this is happening, yeah! Did you hear how nasal I got? It's because my sail came down in the direction of my anchor. So this is very common when you're first learning this, because, you know, it's kind of a new idea and sensation to move two things in opposite directions, okay? So try a few sirens, and I want you to think about the direction of your energy. For example, if we're doing a rising siren, ya, okay? Be mindful. Is your energy of your body going in the direction of the pitch? So is the energy of the body pushing up to try to make the pitch go up and dropping to make the pitch go down? Because that's not stability. This has to be going this way. Remember, we don't change support to change pitch, right? Same thing with your sail. So the thing that I like to give you guys in this idea of energetic direction for your sound is implode your siren, okay? Bring the sound to you. It is not your job to get the sound out, to push the sound out. Words matter, guys. If you're telling yourself, you know, in your mind, okay, I'm gonna siren it out, then you will. And you will take your sail and you will take your anchor and you will do like this to push the sound out. Versus if you're gonna implode your siren and you're setting the energetic direction for your sound to be imploded, well, if something's gonna implode, then you gotta make room for it and you're going to use your body accordingly, okay? So when you're practicing sirens, give yourself that intention, implode the siren. Yeah! Okay? So now, I want you to we're gonna bridge the idea of sirening into a scale. So remember those ma-mo-moo scales that we did yesterday, right? The ma-mo-moo, right? We're going to siren those, because here's what I want you to know. That scale, ma-mo-moo, it's just a siren. It's just a siren. Okay? You are using your body no differently than if you went ma-mo-moo, if you just slid between pitches, okay? The reason this is important is because there will be those of you who can rock the siren when it's just a siren. Ma, okay? But the minute we have articulation of pitches, you lose your opposition and we start to get, like we were talking about, H's, okay? So use your siren to slide between the pitches. And so if we're starting down here, ma-mo-moo. Do you hear how much siren is in that? So first you're gonna actually do the siren, ma-mo-moo, being really present to anchor and sail, moving away from each other the entire time. And then when you articulate pitches, you are not going to change how you're using your body. Anchor and sail continue, ma-mo-moo, to move away from each other, okay? So that brings me to the third concept for today. Do not change your anchor and your sail when you are changing pitch, okay? You are always opposing. You are always opposing your anchor and your sail no matter what. If the pitch is changing, what direction the pitch is going, if the words are changing, if you're going from head to chest, this is how you build reliability and consistency. Those of you who have problems going from chest voice to head voice or head voice to chest voice, and you approach the transition and you get that like cracky, wonky, flubby, yodely thing that happens, in the transition there, it is because you're in your anchor and your sail when you're in your chest voice, but then right before you go to head voice, you think you have to change something, and you do change something, and your opposition gets interrupted, and then you get the flop and the yodel and the crack. Okay? So remember what we said. Like, opposition, you guys, is the remedy for everything. Okay? Anything that's not consistent in your singing, it's because your opposition is being interrupted. All right? So this is how you build reliability and consistency. So who has got an audition song or a song that you gig with all the time that would like to be a volunteer guinea pig to work on some opposition? Let's see, hands in the chat. Okay, wait, use the function, what do you call it? The little reaction function. Okay, I have to switch my screen so I can see you guys. Okay. All right, Cherie is the first hand that I saw. Welcome, hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Yikes.
All right, so you're getting a twofer today. So Annie and I are gonna both coach on this, and so I'm gonna let Annie give you some mojo also. So
Oops.
go ahead. Do you have a chorus of something, a verse of something?
Just off the top of my head, a favorite song of mine is Feeling Good.
Okay, so go ahead and stand up and let's do a little bit of Feeling Good. Just with
Wait a minute, my problem is you have to be able to see me.
We do. Can you get rid of your background or just blur the background?
I don't know how to blur the background.
It's in the same section that you would go to turn your background off. It would just give you the option to blur it.
Yeah, I don't know where it is here though, on Zoom.
It is
Let's
in,
see.
if you click on video, there's a little.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, blur background.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. I never
So
know
you
how to do
guys,
that.
I've become not just a voice teacher. I've become a tech savvy person.
But now, why do I look blurred?
You have to step closer to the device.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
then tilt your screen up. It needs to see your face.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to stay. Oh, kind of.
Okay.
It-
Yeah.
It's
take-
not going to, it's going down. I don't know how to keep it. Let's see. Oh. Okay, let's try that.
Perfect. All right. So let's do a little Feeling Good, and do me a favor, just step back from the device like 4 inches, 5 inches.
Like
or so.
right here?
Yep. All right. Let's do it.
Just sing it.
Yeah. Let's do the
Okay.
chorus or the verse, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, this is right. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, feeling good.
All right. So Annie, I'm gonna let you start, and then I'll weigh in.
Sure. Great. Great. So, really interesting. Things were moving along pretty well. And then we got to the problem spot, right? Yeah. And that's where you wanted to start to move into head voice.
Right.
And right. And so there was this issue when you were transitioning into head voice, which is telling us that one or both of these things has stopped moving away.
Right.
And I have a suspicion as to which one is more egregiously not moving away.
you?
I do. I believe that your anchor when you went up into head voice, your anchor stopped moving in this direction and sort of just kind of went, oh, now I don't know what to do. I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous because I know this is the part where I usually poop out, right?
Yeah.
So let's kind of maybe get into the line right before that line. And I'm going to invite you. You know how Arden was talking about sirening? I'm going to invite you, like, take one siren right now. Oh, and I really want you to, as you move up, really move down and out through your support.
Oh,
Right, right. There's your example of like, there is nothing wrong with your head voice, lady. You have a fine, secure, solid head voice. There's nothing wrong with what you can produce when you're up there. It's that when you're in the moment, that, oh, here it comes, this piece of your body just habitually says, oh, I'm scared and I'm going to give up a little bit. So let's go into that spot. And I want you to stay focused on moving down and out. It's not about sounding good, it's not about being pretty. It's just about chanting on pitch as you move through your support. Let's do it.
okay. Where should I start?
Right. What is the line where it's yeah, find the line or the line before.
Breeze drifting by. That's where
Right.
I'm starting to go into head voice and I just drop out a little bit.
Right. So we're going to go into that line, and why don't we put our hands down here on our support, and I
Uh-huh.
want you to, really feel yourself gently lean into your hands. And let's take the line again and focus on sending your energy down through your torso.
Breeze drifting by. That's not good.
Whoa, whoa,
Hey,
whoa, whoa,
whoa!
whoa, whoa. You guys, this is like textbook Cherie listening to herself instead of Cherie feeling
Oh,
herself. Okay? Because everybody come into the chat. Was that like a bajillion times better? You don't have to take our word for it, Cherie. Like, you have like 70 people listening here, okay? Like, this is textbook that you're used to a certain sound inside your head, Cherie, okay? And this is not a way that you have produced sound before, okay? So you're not used to what this sounds like in your head. So you cannot judge this at all. Turn it off.
okay.
Stop listening to yourself and start feeling what that felt like. So
Okay.
did you notice, was there an image, a sensation, a shape, something that you can recall about what that felt like, about how you were using your body, because that was the good sound?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So what did it feel like?
Well, it felt stronger, but I didn't
Mhm.
like how it sounded.
Okay. Okay. So that you guys, but this is why, and Cherie, I guarantee you is not the only one who does this. This is why Cherie has hit a ceiling in her consistency and is not getting to the next level of potential in her voice that is literally right there for her. Like, Cherie, we gave you one little coaching thing and it was like night and day. Your voice is there, but if she's in her head listening, judging, listening, judging, listening, judging, then what she's doing is she's making judgments based on something that is not the external reality. It's a sound that it does not sound like out here. And then you're pulling off, or you're forcing, or you're doing something that changes this consistency. And then you actually get the bad sound that you were afraid of in the first place. Okay? So let me ask you something. What if I dared you, Cherie, to make a bad sound? I dare you to screw it up. You have full permission to fall on your face right now and make a bad sound, okay? So if you had full permission to make a bad sound, your only job was to just stay in your siren opposition, in your head voice and in your chest voice, because it doesn't matter what it sounds like out here, because you get to screw it up, doesn't matter, okay? Let's do the chorus again. How would you do that? Birds flying high. Start from right there.
Okay. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by. Oh, wait, that's not. You know how I feel. I think I went down to another.
Okay, but you guys, it doesn't matter. Did you guys hear her go up? And Cherie, did you feel yourself? You went up to chest from chest to head like 2 or 3 times, like easily. It was full. It didn't crack. It was right in the center of the pitch because you took the boot off your neck of what it had to be. Because I gave you permission to screw it up. I hijacked your brain for a second. But in hijacking her brain, her body was able to do the thing that it did when she sirened. Because when she was sirening, there was no pressure to make it sound good or to have it be perfect or to have it be whatever she thinks it has to sound like in her head. So she just trusted her body, let the sound be whatever it is, and out here, we got a great sound. And everybody's telling you in the chat how great it was.
Yeah.
I can't even see. I'll look.
Okay, but
You can look back when we finish
right,
it, but
when
it
we're
was
done.
so consistent. It was such a unified sound. Before you had a chest voice that sounded very strong, and then when you it was like, oh, I'm a little girl. This time it was just one big beautiful voice the entire time.
Right. So what is the distinction for you, Cherie? How are you going to find this again in your own practice?
I think it helps me when you say allow yourself to sound bad. Because I'm so afraid of sounding bad that I end up sounding bad.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one. It has the same sabotage for every single one of us when we are in that same place. And so you guys, you did such a great job, by the way, Cherie. Like, you were so coachable and you were just so willing to just like, all right, and what was beautiful about this example is that this is a perfect example of how the coaching of the skill set and the coaching of the mindset worked together to literally change the result immediately of your sound in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Because you have an understanding, you have the skill set, and then we did a little mindset, and now bam, mind-body connection working together in 5 minutes. So your job is to incorporate both of these things, the idea of the siren, because when you sirened in your head voice and you just said, yeah, you found your opposition because there was no pressure to get it right? So your job is to practice these 2 things, which is sirening through your lyrics, not getting into the perfectionism of having to make it sound pretty, not listening to yourself, right? And then just allowing yourself to like be a scientist, right? Like a scientist goes into an experiment and they don't know what they're gonna get. They are willing to quote fail. You know what I'm saying? It's an experiment. We don't know what the outcome is gonna be, and that's okay. Like just being okay with that experimental, just like I said, how would you do this? You guys, I was very intentional on my part. I asked her an open-ended question. How would you do this if you didn't give a shit? Sorry. Hope there's no kids watching. And that just gave you, then you could give yourself the permission that I gave you to just siren and play and not have to make it or force it to sound any given way. And then you got the sound that you were otherwise trying to force. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, good, so good. All right. That like, it always just like makes me so happy, and I know it makes Annie happy too, when we can like tag team like that, and it's just like, bam. All right, thank you guys, and thank you to Annie. That was wonderful. So we might have time. We have a special guest who's here, and while she's here, I want to be mindful of her time. So we might have time to coach a little bit more after this. But right now, we have a special guest, and before we get to her, I just want to make sure you guys know what your practice work is for tonight, okay? So you're going to practice your opposition with your sirens. So you're going to use the Mamo Moo MP3 that you have from yesterday, which is the Mamo Moo, to practice those with your new opposition tools using your siren. So again, what I recommend is sirening first, Mamo Moo, to really feel that flow through opposition and your sail finding the space between your ears, breathing into that, like find all of that on your siren first. And then when you feel like you've got that sensation, regardless of if you're rising or falling, regardless of if you're on an ah or an o, regardless of if you're in chest or head, then use the Mambo Moo MP3 and don't change how you're using your body. Siren through the Mambo Moos. Mambo Moo. And it might feel like you're being a little lazy with your articulation. It might feel like it's kind of sloppy articulation. Don't worry about it, okay? Really work your slide and your siren through the pitches so that you can make sure that you're feeling this consistency in the opposition. So that's the technique practice for tonight. And then also we have another thought exercise for tonight to prepare you for tomorrow's session. So it's both of these are in your Masterclass workbook. The thought exercise is under day 3 and you can download the PDF. And it's all about understanding why you sing the way you do. And so like Cherie just got a little insight into why she sings the way she does, because she's got to make it perfect in her head. It's got to be perfect. She's going to control it. And so why does it have to be perfect? Like, where does that come from, right? So getting some clarity on understanding why you sing the way you do. So that's in tonight's thought exercise. And again, if you have attended one of our workshops in the past, and maybe you've done this before, you have more awareness now. So go deeper this time. Approach the technique exercises and the thought exercise with a new intention from the awareness that you have now. And if you're watching the replay of this, the homework again is in your Masterclass workbook under day 3. Okay. Now I would love to introduce you to a very special singer, a very special guest who's here today. I've invited her to talk with you today because she's somebody who can really share better than anyone her experience of getting out of her own way, linking mind and body, and creating reliability and authenticity in her voice. And she's a wonderful singer-songwriter who really went from having a voice that she couldn't trust and all that insecurity that was keeping her playing small. And since she's been working our method, she's playing festivals. Last month, she made her TV debut. She was the featured artist on Good Morning Chicago. So I have invited her to share her experience with you, the things that have moved the needle for her the most in her skill set, in her mindset, in hopes that you will gain a nugget, a piece of gold that you can use to completely change the outcomes of your singing and your journey like she has in hers. So please welcome Cora Vasseur. Hey, Cora.
Hi, Arden.
Hi, good to see you.
So good to see you.
So I guess I would love if you could start by sharing with everybody, like, what was going on with your voice and your singing before coming to work with us in the intensive program. Like, how were you feeling? What was going on?
I was feeling very defeated and very broken. I was a singer-songwriter. I was working one-on-one with a vocal coach, both in person and then we went online. And I was very frustrated because she would give me notes and I would hear what she wanted me to do. I couldn't get my body to do it. And I tell her, like, I'm trying. And she got very frustrated. At one point she said, I don't know how to help you. You have to tell me how to help you.
And you're thinking, no, you're the expert. You're supposed to know that. Like, what kind of, I can understand how frustrating that must have been.
It crushed me. So I had that going on. I was also wrapping up a mentorship in K-pop. I was working with one of the most in-demand writers. She has more number ones than most people have had cups of coffee. I was really excited, and she heard my demos, and she's like, you know, you're really good at singer-songwriter stuff, so maybe you should focus on that.
Oh, but that must have been like, ow, you know?
Yeah,
like,
so,
what was the hardest part of that, hearing that?
Not trusting the dream, both like my voice and like there's something about this silly genre that I absolutely love, and I got the opportunity to work with one of the best in the field, and they're like, maybe not.
Right. Like maybe just write it. Don't sing it. Just write it.
Right, right.
Ugh.
And so, and then I remembered on our onboarding call, I'm like, Arden, I think at this point I just need shock therapy. Like, I think that's all. I just felt, I felt broken. Like, how can you not sing? I felt I was the problem and nothing was going to fix me.
Yeah. Anybody relate? Like having teachers just being like, I don't know how to help you, or intellectually understanding what the teacher is asking you to do, but your body just being like, not, can't do it, like not being able to do it. And I think this is definitely a common experience that so many of our singers have had. And so what were the biggest, like most transformative aspects of working a different way, right? Of coming into our tribe, and like the biggest game changers for you, what were they?
Biggest game changers for me were the holistic approach, mind, body, soul. The mindset work was the biggest changer for me from day one of identifying that I had limiting beliefs, and that's where a lot of the physical challenges were coming from, like what we just saw with Cherie. Like, I have that challenge too of like, here comes the high note, get ready, and an oversimplification of it is like, if you think you're gonna fall, you're gonna fall. So identifying the limiting beliefs. Some even went back to childhood, like children should be seen and not heard. I was still
So
carrying
we
that
did a
around as an
lot of
adult.
work around that. A lot of work around like I get to be heard. Like I wonder if there are any of you who relate. Would you speak a little more about that? Because I think that that's like it's almost like the fear of being big and being heard and being seen, but then also the fear of staying small and never achieving the dream, and then you end up like in no man's land.
Yeah, no man's land. A lot of fun 2 a.m. thoughts. It's unraveling all the limiting beliefs because I wanted to be seen. I wanted to play bigger stages. But when you're seen, you can also be criticized and judged and attacked. And I had a fear of making mistakes, even just in our vocal lessons, like and working with you and the mindset coaches, it's the safest place I've ever trained in. So I had full permission to explore. I redefined ugly cry in many of our lessons, but it was okay. I got it out. I survived. All my challenges, I realized, like, you're not going to die. You're going to try again. You learn data and you apply the data. Yes.
And so what were some of the biggest things, if you don't mind sharing, like some of the biggest new beliefs that you cultivated, and then how that merged with then what you were able to do in your technique?
Yes. Yes. You assemble a toolkit when you work with you of how to work with yourself. It applies to everyone, and it's also very personal. Like, I learned I connect to story really well. If I know who I'm singing to, what I'm singing about, and why I'm singing this now, it's a complete different experience. And my technique hooks in naturally. I don't have to think about support. I don't have to think about the sail that we were just talking about. I just really take over. I met my alter ego, the divest diva that ever did diva. But she's also
I'm gonna qualify this by saying that, like, we do a lot of work, technique work that's then merged with like inner critic work, right? Because like as you saw with Cherie, like we could give Cherie like amazing technique, but if she's judging and criticizing and judging, her body's not going to do it, right? So we do a lot of inner critic work, but we also need to, when we fire the inner critic, we have to replace it with something, right? And so Cora's alter ego for the inner critic was the diva is diva, whoever did diva. But can you like explain like who is that? What does that mean to you? Like when do you step into her? Why do you use her?
I use her because she's my highest self. She's, um, and she's also a remembering of who I was before the world. And she's someone, she's the diva, but she's very warm. She's very playful. Those are traits that are very successful for me if I'm warm and playful. She trusts her body. She knows when she comes out to sing, she's going to sing. There's going to be a sound. It's going to serve the situation. It's going to serve her. It's the diva. I what if better instead of like all the things that could go wrong. What if this works out? What if this is the best show you've ever done? What if you move somebody tonight?
Yeah. And so all of these things that you're hearing, like that Cora's talking about, really come back to one global overarching belief that I'm just gonna identify, that you identified a lot, but just I'm gonna bring out, remembering a lot of our work together, is that I can trust my body to do this. Like my body was built to do this, right? The diva trusts that, right? And so are there other beliefs that you remember that we conditioned a lot that maybe would resonate with some of the others who are having similar problems?
It's safe to explore. Um, Everything is just data. And, there is no messing up. You're learning you. You're getting to know you. You're getting to know your voice in a whole new way.
And then what happened in your body that you remember? What happens in your body as you've cultivated these beliefs? If you can identify the things that were happening before that are not happening anymore, or the things that weren't happening that now are happening because there is only data, there's no drama, it's just data. Or I get to explore, there's no fail. Like with these beliefs, I can trust my body was built to do this. How did that shift what your body then was able to do from what was happening before?
I was in my body. I'm in my body now as a singer. I'm not just like this floating head of, I feel my feet on the stage. I always felt my feet on the stage, but it's grounded energy, it's rooted energy, it's I am here and you're welcome. And just feeling my body as an instrument, something that singing is one of the most natural states, and we can do it.
Yeah, but you know, it's interesting because like then how did the sound shift, right? Like then what were the external either sound or career wins that then came from this for you, if you don't mind sharing?
Voice-wise, sound-wise, I used to have like the folky singer-songwriter. It was very breathy, and my former voice coach kind of encouraged that. But it came from lack of support. So it was interesting. Like I drove a car without any ignition for a long time and did pretty good. Now I have an ignition. I have an engine. So I have a voice that's in my body, of my body. When I record, I used to have to double or even triple my lead vocal just to cut through a track. And now it's one, doing a very nice job, just sound-wise. And because I connect to story, it's very emotive and it's much more exciting to listen to. I'm communicating the emotions and the story of the song. As a writer, I'm pitching artists. I pitched some of the largest artists in K-pop last week. It's, in one hand, it sounds silly, like good job, you just sent an email, but to look at my work, realize it's worthy. I have something to give them. I'm giving them a gift, and they can't sing if they don't have a song, so let me give them this gift. So I found their people and emailed them. As you mentioned, I've played music festivals now. Like a 1,500 seat theater doesn't feel big enough. It feels very comfortable. I had my TV debut representing a festival, and I felt grounded and anchored. It was my most natural habitat. And right now I'm in the process of auditioning for JYP, which is one of the big 3 K-pop labels, as a top liner. And I'm able to do that because of all the mindset work of identifying what I'm making it mean. Instead of like, oh my gosh, it's the big 3, this is career making, like it's
Right, pressure, make or break. Like, yeah.
Make or break. No matter what happens, I'm still proud of me. No matter what happens, like I'm still a singer-songwriter. This isn't the end-all be-all. This is the first of many auditions at this level. And I'm leveling up.
So if you guys had met Cora like a year ago or a year and a half ago, whenever we first met, like to hear Cora say a 1,500 seat theater is not big enough, like that's like you have no idea how that just makes my heart go because like the Cora that I met was like, I need to book open mics. Like that was the Cora that I met. And now she's like a 1,500 seat theater, done that, not even big enough, you know? So I'm curious, Cora, like if you were talking to someone in this group or wherever who wants what you have, who wants more of what we do here, but maybe, you know, they feel like there are some boundaries that they have or some hurdles that they have to get over. I mean, I know that it wasn't easy for you to come in here, you know, and so like you almost did it, like you almost did it, you know. And so what would you say to them?
I hear you. I feel you. It is an investment, and I was going back and forth. As I was handing over my credit card, like, could the money go elsewhere? But I can honestly say it has been a life-changing experience, both in music, and it's flowed over to the rest of my life. Words. It's an investment, and I don't regret it at any point. It's the first time I'm like, this is worth every single penny. I showed up for every class because I knew I was going to get something out of it. From my coaching, from watching other people. As I shared, like, it's the safest place I've ever been in. I felt seen, heard, and validated as a singer, as an artist, as a human. You meet this like-minded community for the first time. You're not the only one in the room going for the dream still. You rise together. And if you're concerned about the online aspect, you've experienced how good Arden is. Arden, Annie, and everyone else is coaching. Like, they see you. You'll still get a physical aspect of, like, they'll coach you to put your hands on your body and kind of play charades of, like, what you're feeling. And they can still give you amazing coaching and support online. Because you're worthy of your dream, you're worthy of this time and space.
I mean, I think that's the most powerful. I think that's the most powerful thing, which is that, you know, a lot of us think, wow, it's this dream on my heart. It's this thing I've been working so hard for forever, and I've been plugging and plotting, and it's just not getting me anywhere. And I know that's kind of where you were. Like you said, I felt broken. So what was it, if I can ask, that made you take the leap of faith to come into this community and work a totally different way?
Sure. A part of it was I was so broken and frustrated. I was willing to do anything, like genuinely considering shock therapy. Like, if you told me part of your warm-up is standing on your head, I'm like, okay, Arden, I'm in. Because I love singing, I love writing. There was something in it. And several times I did feel crazy. Like, what are you doing? But it has been worth it. Setting
Yeah. Well, and I remember our very first conversation together, and it was an emotional conversation because it was like, if you don't fix this, what will you do?
Yeah. Um,
Like, are you gonna go back to crappy day job? Are you gonna, and I remember it was a very like emotional conversation about like if the next 5 years looks exactly like the last, like what is the reality of that?
yeah. And the biggest thing is I didn't want regrets of, I didn't want to get to the end of my life and wonder like, what if I had signed with her? What if I had tried just one more time? What if I tried another time? So I was just willing to. I knew how challenging it had been, so let's see if we try something different.
Right. Well, and like we talked about on Monday, you guys, that idea of like if you're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome, that's insanity, you know? And the thing that Cora did, and which is why and you do it, Cora, as I've known you for the last year or two, like you do it every single time, which is you approach the edge of the fear and then you're willing to go beyond it. And it was the fear of like initially like, oh my gosh, making the investment and is this going to work for me, whatever. And then it's like, well, nothing else, what else am I going to do? Am I going to give up? Am I going to hang up my cleats? Do I want to waste another year, God forbid, 5 years, 10 years, or, and it's going beyond the comfort zone to do that. Same thing with like being, like you said, ugly cry in class, but that builds the vulnerability, right? That builds that like you get to do that and you get to fall apart and nothing bad happens. And now you have an experience that you get to draw from, So you guys, Cora is like the poster child for let me go beyond my comfort zone, let me go beyond the fear. Every time I see it, I just recognize it's a challenge that God's tapping me on the shoulder, or the universe, or whatever you believe in, tapping me on the shoulder and saying, hey, see that thing you want? It's just on the other side of this discomfort, of this fear, So thank you so much for sharing your experience today, Cora. You guys, please thank her for sharing her time today. I love this woman here, and every time she shares with me one of her wins, it just makes me like so excited. So you can catch her playing out in festivals and other things if you're in the Midwest, in the Chicago area. You guys can connect. Thank you, Cora. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arden. Thank you.
All right. So she's so amazing. So now you guys see what's possible, and we have a little bit of time. So I think I want to, you've gotten so many ahas and results, just even from these first few days. And so I want to show you how I can help you to bring this full circle. You have a lot of game-changing new tools and new awarenesses to go out, even just from these last few days, and be a whole lot more successful on your own. And if you're comfortable with, the trial and error of practicing and going through the rest of the process of like embodying and implementing and figuring it out as you go with all these new tools and trying lots of different things until you get the result you want, then I want to encourage you to get out there with these tools as soon as possible. Or if you're the kind of person that likes to follow an exact blueprint, that wants the A to Z roadmap, for maximizing that impact of your potential, and to have expert eyes and ears on you, guiding you and telling you what to do, how to do it, making sure that you're doing it right, that's going to get you a predictable and repeatable result in your voice, then the intensive training program that Cora was trained in, that she was talking about, then that program is probably for you, because it's an all-in-one holistic training approach to your journey that addresses your technique, your mindset, and your artistry all together, so that you know how to access that last 10% of your potential and unleash that full power of your voice and your talent, so you can stand out from the competition and land those elite opportunities and those next level goals that you have, and keep them coming. And so if you're somebody who wants that guidance, who wants the A to Z, then through our time together, you'll have a higher level of reliability and consistency in your technique that you can trust. And it happens fairly quickly. I mean, you saw Cherie, we coached in 10 minutes today, and she was like, oh, doing the thing that like 5 minutes before felt really insecure for her and really impossible for her. And so we're teaching you in very straightforward and very fast how to get a sound that you can trust, that shows up for you no matter what, where your body's working for you instead of against you, singing in a way that doesn't just sound good, but also feels good, right? Because at the end of the day, I know a lot of singers who might get a great sound, but it's tons of tension and strain that lands in vocal fatigue that then ends up in vocal injury. So it's not just about sounding good, it's about sustainable sound that feels good too. And that's freedom and stamina instead of tension, strain, fatigue. And then it's about using all of that and learning how to get consistently better results from your auditions, your performances, your recordings. So no more of this BS where you're putting in all this time and effort and work and money and not seeing the kinds of results that you want. So you'll finally own your sound. Like that's what we're talking about here, is owning your sound at its fullest potential, tapping into your confidence and your uniqueness, your unique voice, what you have that nobody else does. Like I call it your special sauce that sets you apart from every other singer out there, which is actually what we're going to coach on later on this week. We're going to coach a lot on artistic, your unique voice, your unique sound. So don't miss that later this week. But what it's really about is like not being the bridesmaid anymore, right? Like no more longing and frustration and anxiety and sadness of watching somebody else up there on that stage getting the big opportunity that you want while you're either stuck at the same level you've been at for ages or like stuck, in the audience watching them while you're like, that should be me. You guys, it's heartbreaking. And for so many of you, you almost get there, you're almost there, but you're not breaking through. And for others of you, it's keeping you stuck and not even doing it because you don't have the consistency, the confidence, and you continue to play small. So instead of that, imagine like it's your curtain call. Like imagine being like Cora standing backstage on, the Good Morning show that she just played on and being like, oh my God, like it's the green room and my name is on it. Right? Like imagine walking into the stage door and seeing your name on the dressing room door. I will never forget when I walked into San Francisco Opera and I saw my name on the dressing room door. It was like, okay, like this is cool now, Or another experience I had, imagine walking into a grocery store and hearing your song playing on the radio. Happened to me, hand to God. It is the coolest thing. For those of you who live in Los Angeles, I was in the Ralph's grocery store on La Brea, and it was a long time ago, and I was pushing the cart, and all of a sudden, my song came on the radio, and I picked up my phone, and I FaceTimed my mother. He's like, Mom, look, listen, okay? Like, it's about walking onto the biggest stages of your life and looking out into the crowd and thinking, I did this. I did this. I fought for this. I didn't just give up and accept what everybody else is saying. Because let's think about what it's really costing you not to own that voice and own the big life that you want with your talent and be able to do the thing that would get you there right now. What is it costing you? It's costing you time. That's the number one non-renewable resource that we are all given. How much time have you lost on that hamster wheel that you've been on? 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, not getting the breakthroughs to where you want to be and settling. Do you want to lose another year, another 5 years, God forbid another decade, doing the same things and getting the same results that are keeping you stuck? And then all of a sudden you're at the end of your life and you're looking back with sadness and regret, like what Cora said, wondering, what if? Wondering, who would I have been? And what could I have done if I'd really fought for my gifts in a different way? It's costing you opportunities, it's costing you income, it's costing you impact. And while those things are frustrating, to me, they're not even the real cost. Like, what is it really costing you not to own your voice? I am legit asking you guys, type it into the chat. What is it costing you? Yes, this is about your singing, guys, but no, it's not. What is it really costing you to have a gift and constantly feel like you're hitting a ceiling when all you want to do is live it to its fullest potential? What is it really costing you to continue to have to accept a B+ singing career when you know you have an A+ talent? What is it really costing you not to own your voice? This is where we get real, guys. This is where we get to be vulnerable and really look. Type it into the chat. I see Anne has said it's costing her happiness. You guys, that's like, you can't bottle that. Pamela, my freaking dreams, my full bucket list. Yeah. Christina, my identity. If I'm not living my gifts, who am I? Rashida, my joy, my ability. You guys, we have 73 people in this room and 5 people. Don't waste this opportunity to pull off the mask. What is it really costing you not to own your voice? And so that's what we're doing here, guys. We're teaching you the skill set, the heart set, the mindset needed to go from exceptional talent to exceptional success. And in turn, giving you the ability to fully step into the gift that you were given and do what you were put here to do, so that you don't have to go to the end of your life like Andrea with this desire to tell stories, but the skill set to not the skill set to do it. Or to have to walk through the next decade like Terry, not feeling fully authentic, feeling like an imposter because you're not really doing what you were meant to do. Mark, not fully realizing the gift that God gave me. Dolores, time wasted. Angela, showing my grown kids what it means to follow their dreams. You guys, I'm a mom, my daughter's 12, and I don't know if your kids are anything like mine, whether they're grown or not, but like, she didn't listen to a damn thing I say, but boy, does she watch what I do. And I can tell her until I'm blue in the face, if you go after your dreams, if you believe it, you can be it. Like, I can tell her all that, but if she is watching me sit down on my dreams, what am I modeling for her, right? So you guys, yes, this is about your singing, but no, it's not. It's about every aspect of your life that is affected when you are not living as the highest version of yourself, doing the thing that you love and that you know is your gift, and watching that gift fade away into the rearview mirror with every passing day, with every passing month. You guys, we're halfway through 2025. How many of you set a New Year's resolution in January that I'm going to come back to my training, I'm going to come back to my singing, I'm going to start auditioning again, I'm going to start training again, I'm going to start recording again. And here we are in June and nothing has changed. I'm sure that there are many of you who are in that experience, okay? So that's what we're doing here, all right? Is we're giving you the skill set and the mindset to go out there and create the life that you love. Whether it's doing this professionally at a super high level, booking elite gigs, getting paid, quitting the day job that you hate, or whether you're what I call a multi-passionate creative, where you have a day job career that you love, but you are also a very serious, very passionate, avocational singer, and your world and your experience is not complete without both of these. And right now, career going good, passion nowhere, okay? Doesn't matter. What we're doing here is giving you the ability to step into the gifts that you were given so you can do what you were put here to do. And so to do that, there's really 4 key pillars that are involved over a 16 weeks. So it's a 4-month intensive training arc, okay? The first pillar is the technique accelerator. So this is where we make sure there are no gaps in your technique, and we rapidly help you to nail down technical mastery. Okay, so technique accelerator is comprised of 2 essential elements. It's breath support and it's resonance. It's your anchor and your sail, okay? And we're gonna deep dive into these in a much more specific way. I mean, I gave you some great tools, but like we're deep diving in the intensive where we're teaching you game-changing high-level technique that ensures the kind of consistency, reliability, that quickly eliminates tension, strain, bad habits that have been keeping you stuck. So this is the bedrock of your ability to go out there and tap into the fullest potential of your voice and deliver it when it counts every single time with full confidence and full impact, no matter what, so that you can go out there and start hitting more elite and higher paying career goals, okay? Second pillar is all about unleashing your unique artistry. So most vocal coaches, they only teach technique, which is why their clients are not out there getting seen, getting hired, getting paid, right? And so we're gonna take you through a really powerful process to immediately tap into your unique energy, your unique sound. Who are you as an artist? Bring that forth and show you how to unleash that for maximum impact and performance. So you're the one they remember. You're the one they want to hire. You're the one whose records they want to listen to over and over again, okay? And then the third pillar is a mindset. It's a blueprint is what it is. It's a blueprint for mastering your mindset. And this is another piece that most traditional vocal training does wrong, or not even wrong, you guys, they don't do it at all, and that's mindset. Most vocal coaches, they train you from the neck down, and they leave out the one part of your body that can and will sabotage everything else if it's not trained, and that's your mind. Like we were talking about on Monday. Do you remember concept number 1? Your body cannot do what your brain is sabotaging. So you cannot do either of the first 2 pieces of this. You can't build technical mastery. You can't unleash your artistry if you're being sabotaged by what's going on in your head, both on stage and off, that you don't even realize. So in this toolkit, in this blueprint, we give you and we teach you advanced professional mindset strategies, some of which you watched me use on Cherie today, so that you will perform to your potential every single time, because we have taught you how to get out of your own way. And then finally, the last piece is really about support, world-class support, because you guys, I get, like, you guys are all so passionate and you're serious and you care. And if you could have fixed these things on your own by now, I know you would have. But this is honestly where most types of training drop the ball. Either they hand you a bunch of information and they leave you on your own to figure out how to do it, or if they do give you support, it's minimal, and you waste a ton of time between lessons not having anyone to check in with to, number 1, make sure that what you're practicing is correct, or are you just continuing to practice in the old habits without realizing it and continue to reinforce those? And there's nobody to check in with to mirror back to you all the ways that you're getting in your own way that you don't even see. And so we're the opposite of that. We're building this transformation right alongside you. And so here's how we deliver that. So we do it through weekly technique training modules, weekly mind-body integration modules, individual weekly coaching in the context of a group, just like we've been doing here in studio class. And we keep the group nice and small. We never have more than about 10 to 12 singers in the program at any time because it's a lot of individual attention. We do it through weekly group mindset calls. We do it through one-on-one mindset accountability mentoring with your own dedicated mindset coach. And you'll meet Judy, who's one of our mindset coaches, later on in the week. She's going to come in and coach some of you. We do it through cultivating this community, this tribe, this very safe space where you get to go beyond your comfort zone in a very compassionate and very supportive community. And it's about being around like-minded artists. It's like a little artistic incubator where you get to learn and take action and grow to achieve your goals together. And so the tuition for this program is usually $9K. But I'm giving you guys a very special bonus discount for anybody who's interested in coming to work with us. For the week of this workshop, between now and Sunday, I'm taking $2,000 off the tuition from now until Sunday as a bonus discount for everyone here in this workshop. So it's only $7K until midnight on Sunday night. So that's the first big ta-da bonus, okay, is a huge tuition discount because you guys are here. You are showing up, you are committed, you are accountable, you are serious, you are exactly the kind of singers that I love to work with. So giving you guys a $2,000 discount. But then I'm also doing 3 more special bonuses. So when you enroll before Sunday, if you want to join us for the intensive program, I'm also including a self-tape critique. So a critique of one of your self-tape audition tapes. So for those of you who have to do self-tapes, Broadway singers, opera singers, we'll do a critique of one of your audition self-tapes. Also, a full audit of your artist website or EPK. So if you're an artist, you have an EPK or you have a landing page or a website, full audit, because a lot of you probably don't realize that how you're presenting yourself is actually sabotaging you in ways that you didn't even notice. So we want to make sure that that's not a thing. And the first 3 singers who opt for a pay in full of the 7K will get 2 bonus private one-on-one coaching sessions with me that you can use anytime in your program. So you're in with me getting individual coaching in the context of the group 3 times a week, but for the first 3 singers who choose the pay in full of the 7K, giving you 2 extra one-on-ones with me out of the context of the group. So I want to share my screen because we have some really great flexible payment options if you want to join us. The way we do that is we have a monthly which is $18.97 a month, which is the most flexible, so 4 payments over the 4 months. The best value you save if you do the 7K, or for those of you who want longer payment plan options, we have PayPal does financing for our program, and so you can apply and they'll ask you some questions about depending on like your credit score and other things, like depending on the rate and the term that you would qualify for, it could be as low as like $340 a month. It's like leasing a car, right? So it'd be like $340 a month for 24 months with 9% interest, or it's like that. So we have financing available as well that you can access for the program. Let me see, did I forget anything? You guys, if you want in, if you're resonating with what we're doing here, you can use a link. So Ashley is going to put a link in the chat for where you can find out all the information about the training program, all the specifics that I gave today. It's all on the link that she just put in, and you can take care of your enrollment. You can use the link we just put in the chat. Pick your start date. You could literally be in class with us tomorrow if you wanted to be. It's rolling, okay? You pick your start date. If you have some questions and you'd like to book a short discovery call with me to find out if the intensive training program is really a good fit for you and if it's going to meet your goals, like your specific singing goals, then you can book a short call with me. Ashley just put the link to that in the chat. It's just a 15-minute call. It's not a coaching call. It's just a short call where we can discuss, see if what I've just gone over is going to be a good fit for you to move forward and get past the things that are stopping you, meet your goals. And I can also answer any lingering questions you might have, questions about timing, questions about other creative payment options that we might be able to come up with. All right, so tomorrow, guys, do not miss, because we're going to be integrating all of these tools to go from process to performance. Okay, so we've done a lot of process over the last 3 days, and we're going to continue to, but part of that is integrating. And I'm going to show you how to fast track process to performance by showing you how to get out of your own way to bring it like you never have before, and what's really necessary for the kind of impact that it takes to break through at a more elite level. So a reminder to do your homework tonight, explore sirening. And you guys, have you been getting the emails that have the replay? Like usually about an hour after we wrap, Ashley, we email the replay link, so you can go back and like watch if you want to just remind yourself and practice the sirening and stuff. Use the Mamamoo MP3 from yesterday's scales to practice embodying your opposition tools like I showed you. Make sure you continue doing your daily meditation. Do the next thought exercise that we're going to use in class tomorrow. It's going to prepare you. It'll give you some really good insights so that you're ready for the work that we're going to do tomorrow. And again, if you want to learn more details about the intensive training program, or if you want to take care of your enrollment, again, here's the link to do that, to learn more and enroll. Ashley will put that in the chat again, just to make sure you guys have it. And again, if you have some questions you want to discuss with me, then your next step is to book a short discovery call. Get on my calendar. I've blocked off time over the next few days for you guys. So if training with us is where you know you want to be, get in before the 2K discount expires at midnight on Sunday after the workshop wraps. Get on my calendar. We'll discuss if you have any questions to make sure it's right for you. Practice your sirening, keep doing your meditation, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's session for more really big breakthroughs. All right, you guys, thank you to Coach Annie. Thank you to Cora. Thank you to Cherie for being an amazing volunteer. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.